Bonjour. 안녕하세요. I'm truly honored to be here today. My name is Hyejin Kim, and I'm here representing Dexter Studio from Seoul, South Korea. And first of all, I'd like to thank PIDS organizers and the French Ministry for Europe and Foreign Affairs and the French Institute for making this session possible. I'm grateful for this opportunity to share our vision for VFX industry on such a great stage. So, I heard that K-pop is getting more popular here in France, and I'm very curious how many of you have had the chance to dive into Korean movies or dramas. Just standing here today, looking at all of you, the masters and the professionals of the visual industry. So I'm even more curious. When you hear of the terms of K-contents, what is the first imagination or first your image that comes to your mind? I guess it would be like Parasite from the director Bong Joon-ho, or The Squid Game from Netflix, or maybe some of you have watched those kind of creature things from Netflix like Parasite the Grey, or Hellbound, or Gyeongsang Creatures, or Sweet Home. Or some people might be familiar with the emotional depths of Crash Landing on You, Queen of Tears, and When Life Gives You Tangerines. I traveled all the way from Seoul to here to share a specific story behind these global successes. Of course, every good success starts with a powerful story, but it requires visionary direction and the raw, authentic performances of talented actors. But there is one more very essential element. I guess all of you would very agree with me. That would be post-production. And word of VFX CG and VP virtual production and DI and sound and so on. So I believe everyone in this room understands this better than anyone else. We are the artists who are standing till the last moment to see the ending credit, to check our names. And we just put all the passion and the energy to every frame to create the masterpiece. Yeah, so that was the very important essentials about the K-content success. Korea, much like France, we have very mature domestic content market. However, because of the domestic market is very limited to the population of 50 million only, we have always faced a unique challenge, efficiency. To meet the very high expectations from the sophisticated audiences with a very relatively limited production budget, we had to obsess with the efficiency. This environment forced us to innovate, and our passion made us to find ways to realize creators' wildest imagination without being dragged down by the budget. So in short, we learned how to make big budget visuals on smart budget scales. So that exactly saying that who we are. We are Dexter Studios, all-in-one contents production studio, the place where imagination becomes reality. And in Korea, if you watch a lot of Korean movies or dramas, every time you can find Dexter Studio, the ending credits. In short, we are the ones who bring the creator's imagination to life. So we believe our company has played a quite meaningful role in a global success of K-content. Even though our work often remains just behind the scenes, without it, the world might not have been able to fully connect with Korea's story. We take stories in text form and turn them into visuals that draw audience deeper into narrative. And we adjust colors to set the mood, and we add the sound to enhance the immersion. Yeah, that is who we are. And just rather than just listening to me talk, it's better to watch what we do, right? So shall we take a look at our VFX showreel? So it all started 2012 with a film called Mr. Go. It was a story about a gorilla playing baseball. At the time, Korea lacked the technical infrastructure to create the live-action film where the digital animal was the lead character. So it was the pure passion of Korean's first generation CG artists that made it happen. Since then, Dexter has become the go-to partner for any project involving distant creatures or monsters or very challenging missions. We have built an extensive portfolio in fantasy, space, and sci-fi genres that truly push the boundaries of imagination. Somehow sounds is not connected. I'm so sorry. This one was about the parasite from the director Bong. And we are very proud of this one because it was kind of our invisible VFX. So many people just don't realize there was iconic mansion was the set. The second floor and the basement were entirely digital. And to assist the director's creative process, we reconstructed the entire mansion in Unreal Engine before filming. So this allowed him to visualize the spatial dynamics and the blocking in real time. So we always believe technology should always serve as a bridge to the creator's vision. Thank you. Yeah, just in case you are interested in, then, oh. Can I go in? It's working?
The sound in HDMI.
I didn't set that. Do I have to set it now? What? Do I have to set it now?
Yes, the sound is HDMI. Alan,
I don't know how to set it.
no sound.
Sorry about the sound. I'm not good at connecting the technical things here. Anyway, if you are interested in those reels, then you can just scan the QR down there. There is our YouTube channel, so you can just check the making of reels that we just produced so far. So now let's look at the numbers here. There are the records of the projects we have participated in. The VFX, we have worked for 118 projects so far. And DI, we just covered like 293. And the sounds, it's like 335. Because about the sound, we just acquired the other company named LiveTone. That is a legendary sound studio in Korea that has worked on every single films of director Bong Joon-ho's. So, for example, The Memories of Murder, Snowpiercer, and Okja, and so on. So after that, Dexter officially became a total post-production powerhouse covering every single aspect of the craft under one roof. And here are some posters from our key projects. I'm not sure there is some films or dramas we have seen so far. Our journey has been quite global in Asia. For a time, we collaborated heavily with the Chinese market on numerous blockbusters. However, as you may know, because of the geopolitical landscape shifted, so we had to adjust. So recently, we have a lot more with Japan, working on live-action adaptations of legendary Japanese IPs like Yu Yu Hakusho and Saint Seiya. So furthermore, while we were traditionally focused on the theatrical films, after COVID-19, This word changed everything. So we, as the domestic box office struggled to recover, global OTT platforms, especially Netflix, has been very dominant in Korea. Consequently, a large portion of our current work is now focused on high-end Netflix. In 2019, the Korean cinema box office reached a historical peak with 226 million admissions in 1 year. Compared to Korean population as 50 million only, is quite incredible record. However, since the pandemic, the market has struggled to recover, staying at only 50 to 60% of the peak. So we must face the reality that the content consumption habits of younger generation have fundamentally shifted. So I'm so sorry to say that, but we no longer expect the theatrical box office will return to its former glory. So while we share industry's concerns regarding the lack of market diversity, this reality has made it a strategy necessary for us to target global OTT streaming platforms. In Korean market, Netflix is just like dominant. Unlike Europe or America, we don't really have Disney Plus or HBO working well comparatively. So in Korea, just we have to depend on Netflix. So Netflix holds a commanding 38% of monthly active user among all OTT platforms in the country. So fortunately, Dexter Studio has become a trusted partner in this ecosystem. So far, we've worked on about 41% of all Korean Netflix original films and series. So by combining our world-class post-production expertise with the world's leading streaming platform, we are helping Korean stories connect with audiences around the world. So looking back at our journey, we all started with our very first projects, Mr. Go, back in 2013. Since then, we've incredibly fortunate to take awards every single year at film festivals, not just in Korea, but all across Asia. But we are really proud of this winning streak, but honestly, we haven't got any awards from other continents. So that is another challenge for us as well. We are eager to take this momentum beyond Asia. So we are very happy to have global collaborations. And since I'm here in France, this beautiful country, so I'm really looking forward to have this collaboration in Europe. Yeah, so if you need any collaborations, just come to Dexter Studio. Help us to have a broader, wider award-winning record for us. So every year, we just pour our hearts into our work to keep this track record alive. It is also like our promise to make ourselves to never stop delivering the kind of quality that lives up to our brand name. So today, I think CG and VFX are the core DNA of all kind of modern contents. It's not only about film, drama, but also marketing contents, music videos, theme park, immersive contents, and media art, of course, game and metaverse. So Dexter Studio has evolved from a VFX studio into a fully integrated content ecosystem. We control the entire value chain from early development of stories at Dexter Pictures to master level of post-production with live tone for sound and the Dexter Chroma for digital marketing. So we are now expanding this expertise into next frontier, transforming high-end VFX assets into immersive B2C experience. I will show you later about this one. We just launched our own media art exhibition. We don't just follow trends, we provide our technology that shapes the future of the Korean contents industry. And this slide, I just wanted to explain how we drive sustainable growth through a balanced business structure. On the left side, there is our B2B and B2G government business. This includes post-production services like just usual VFX studio, And also we have virtual production, color grading, DI, and sound. Of course, it's all supported by continuous R&D, and this side of the business provides stable and predictable cash flow. So it allows us to keep investing in high-end technology and systemize our workflows and attract top-tier talent through very premium projects. On the right side, it's about the B2C, business to customer business, centered around our own original IP. This includes films, dramas, and also media art exhibition that we produce. While this area carries very high risk, but it also offers much greater profit upside. So including direct returns from successful IP and opportunities to expand into global IP licensing. So what is important is how these two sides reinforce each other. And our strong B2B foundation strengthens Dexter's brand and technological edge, so which directly supports the quality and the competitiveness of our original IP. So at the same time, the successful original content enhances our brand power and creating more demand for our B2B services. So together, this creates a very self-reinforcing, sustainable growth cycle where stability and upside sales work hand in hand. Okay, so far I've just shared our business strategy and the more like big picture, and then I have to say more about the working on the ground. Let's step into our one roof and what our artists are doing here. I won't spend too much time here because you guys are the experts and you just live and breathe in this process. It's just simply put, Dexter is involved every single stage from development and pre-production and to the final post-production. We just don't follow fixed manual, but we always focus on flexibility. Depends on our client's needs. And when it comes to VFX production, the work is handled through a highly specialized pipeline. Each stage is led by dedicated specialists here in Dexter. And we're all working closely together in a fully connected software. Currently, Dexter Studio, we have like 330 people working together, and almost like 200 of them, they are the specific dedicated VFX supervisors. Now, here is our core philosophy. We want our artists to be creators. We just don't want them to stay as like operators. So our R&D cares about efficiency. We want the artists focus on their creativity rather than doing the routine or just repeating just routine works. So every time we just finish the challenging projects, we don't just move on. We institutionalized the lessons and we learned. We take those breakthroughs and turn them into systems in-house software. So let me introduce 3 of the pillars. The first one is about the Jellos. We developed this back when we were working on our first gorilla movie, Mr. Go. It's 2013, long ago. It is designed to handle Dexter 4 hair and feathers with extreme efficiency. After that software, we just able to handle a lot of projects with the animals and creatures. And the second one is about the Japiros. This system was born from a film called Pirates, 2 series of Pirates. It significantly speed up our ocean and water simulations. And just one fun fact, after this software, we were able to do the very effective beer commercials with the very fresh, refreshing splashes. And the third one is Janvu. This was a game changer when we were just building the massive and mythical 9 different afterlife. The movie named Along with the Gods, the movie covers about 9 different afterlives. So it allows us to create vast digital environments efficiently. And after that, we also evolved it for later sci-fi projects as well. And all these tools are integrated into our main pipeline, which is called, we call like bellows. Yeah, as we grow, we realized the old linear step-by-step process wasn't good enough for us. So moving to OpenUSD was not just a choice. It was very necessary for us. So with OpenUSD at the center of our pipeline, we no longer pass work sequentially from one department to the next. So we just work very fluidly. So by integrating OpenUSD, we've made collaboration between stages much more fluid and significantly improving efficiency and allowing specialized artists to stay focused on their areas of expertise. So actually, 2024, we just had our presentation about our software, Veloz pipeline, and also virtual production case studies at the SIGGRAPH. So it was a great moment to share our technical journey with the global community as well. And our commitment to R&D is more than just corporation's slogan. In fact, our company is listed in Korean market, and at that time, we were able to make that record because of our technology. In Korea custom market, there is a special model based on their technological evaluation model. So the R&D was more like a core essence to our company. So from day one, R&D has been our top priority, and even during financially challenging times, we have never let go of our investment in innovation because we believe technology is what secures our future. So this one was some of the specific examples. To get more highest quality in digital characters, we've built a massive internal infrastructure. We operate a photogrammetry system with 150 cameras for full body scanning and a specialized 50 camera 3D scannings for detailed head and upper body. And also we utilized 4D scanning system to capture the facial expression and performances with 15 machine vision cameras. As I mentioned earlier, Dexter is very important for the creature things. And we are more like Cradle, where the Korea's most iconic Disney animals and creatures were born. We are constantly researching muscle dynamics and fur groomings to make them look more natural than ever. And also, we have ideal effects results. We are pushing the limits. We make a lot of fires and we destroy things a lot and make volcanoes erupting and unleashing all kinds of natural disasters. So we could say we are more like professional destroyers in Korea. And let's talk about the topic that everybody is very interested in, AI. Yeah, to be honest, on the production side, especially with the major platform like Netflix, there is a still very cautious approach toward using generative AI content. Currently, the use of purely generated AI in final shots is still quite limited. I'm not sure how it is here in Europe, but in Korea, it's very limited. But I'm actually very nervous how it goes in the future. But anyway, at this moment, Dexter currently just focus on AI-driven automation to help our artists. And we want to take away the labor and just leave the craft. So for instance, we are using the AI in painting. So just automatically identify and remove unwanted objects from videos. And also we are developing tools like multi-characters match moving. And also we are using splatting the 2D to 3D. And also we are using a lot of de-aging and aging. So we just call it re-aging, which is usually used by many different types of projects. And beyond the visuals, we are researching AI to optimize our pipeline flow and using super resolution technology to upscale footage. And lastly, we are exploring hybrid workflows. It's more like AFX, AI FX. But just in case, we are covering a lot of compositing with AI-generated contents. Yeah. And actually, for about the full-scale generative AI is widely used in advertising because we have one of subsidiary companies advertising, digital advertising company. So we are covering a lot of commercial things with generative AI. But in films and dramas, it's still applied selectively. So it's not easy to mention how we did it so far, but our goal is very clear at this moment, just finding the right balance between the precision of traditional VFX and the speed of AI. So AI helps us enhance storytelling while giving our artists powerful tools to work them faster, smarter, and even creatively. So let's take out the actual results we have done so far. So we can see that we have a lot of films and high-profile global titles from Netflix's Yu Yu Hakusho and The Parasite the Grey and Space Sweepers, Hellbound 2, and Gyeongsang Creature. And I'm not sure anybody heard about the Moving, but it's quite big hit in Asia. That is from Disney Plus as well. And we've collaborated deeply with the global giants like Netflix and Disney Plus. And also we have a lot of co-works with the Korean local platform TVing, but the size is comparatively small. And we didn't just stop at the screen. We've produced the content for theme parks and VR, AR, and XR. And one of our most talked about projects was the collaboration with a major Korean telecom company. Just we made a very big, giant, massive, hyper-realistic dragon fly through a baseball stadium in real time. And we've also worked closely with the various local cities and museums to create immersive experiences. Most notably, just last year, we were responsible for the entire multimedia show for 2025 APEC Summit in Gyeongju. In addition, we've been leading several high-profile DOOH projects that are currently lights up the streets of Korea. And this is a big project that we are doing right now. After years of delivering these diverse services for our clients, it was time for us to make a strategic shift. We wanted to create our own B2C experience. So in the end of last year, we launched our very own storytelling media art exhibition. We've been open for about 2 months now. So it's located in Gyeongju, the same city that hosted world leaders like Trump and Xi Jinping during the APEC summit. The exhibition is dedicated to the Silla dynasty, the ancient kingdom of Korea, that lasted for nearly 1,000 years. So we've taken their rich culture, history, and methodology and turned them into a living, breathing digital world. Yeah, to be honest, we are very nervous about the ticket sales right now, but thankfully, the reviews from the visitors have getting better, and they are giving us very good marks so far. So Gyeongju is world famous for its beautiful cherry blossoms. So we are eager to, have good records next coming spring season. So what really makes this place special is our cinematic approach. So by blending VFX with the immersive world-class sound, we've created a space where visitors feel like they stepped back in time to ancient Gyeongju. So, and if you ever visit Korea, please let me know. I'd be happy to just welcome you to Gyeongju, this place, and helping you to have this experience to work back to the Silla dynasty. So just in case you're curious about it, so I just brought some video clips about it. Yep. And next, let's talk about the digital marketing part. So we've been very active in creating cinematic trailers for major game IPs. And as you know, games now have massive dedicated fandoms. And we are not just making their trailers, we are building very good relationship with the game companies. And we want to have good cinematic narratives based on their original IPs as well in the future. And in the world of advertising, we operate through our subsidiary company. And VFX is very essential in almost every advertisement today. And we sometimes go for very full, high-end 3D campaigns on the left side. That was for the Hanguk Tire Formula E campaign. But on the right side, we just created with the Unreal Engine version. And on the downside, we just used our generative AI as well. Today, the market is shifting from traditional TV ads to personalized digital targeting. So this means that we need to produce many different versions of same creative. So our flexible strategy allows us to do exactly that. And we are also used virtual production for major LG Electronics ads on the left. And on the right side, we have been diving into the fake DOOH. That was very hot for some season at the SNS, the social medias. As a CG VFX powerhouse, we provide all the very flexible strategy for the advertising as well. Whether it is a new media format or a shifting trend, we use our diverse tech stacks to create the results that fit the modern media landscape perfectly. So next one is about the virtual production. Yeah, we've been operating our own virtual production studio since 2021. We started on smaller scale. We built a very strong reputation for our operating systems. So we just did a lot of commercials and some of the dramas and the films as well. But actually, to be honest, the people who work for the filming industry, they were not that aggressive to adjust virtual production because they are not used to it. So we didn't have a very good business about virtual production here. But Korean government, they built national largest size of virtual production, and they came to us to ask to manage their systems. So we are running their virtual production studios, but government, they are just pushing this virtual production technology in order to just enhance the high-end technology for Korean production industry. But frankly speaking, right now it's not profitable. Next one is about the digital intermediate color grading. So our colorists work very closely with the top-tier directors and the cinematographers in Korea. So recently, we've also seen incredible numbers of Japanese directors come to Korea and come to Dexter, especially collaborate for our DI team. So actually, this video was not updated well, but I think you can still see the goodness of the color grading here. Okay. So our facilities are renowned throughout Korea for their exceptional quality and the cutting-edge capabilities. So the video you just saw didn't cover all of our projects, but if you are a fan of Korean contents, then you will recognize many of titles here. So Decision to Live, Kingdom, Burning, Squid Game, and When Life Gives You Tangerines. So right now, very hot cinematographers and directors, they are very happy to work with our DI team. So we are most beloved partners for them now. And next, that is about our legendary sound studio, Livetone. The whole series of Squid Games was done by Livetone. And beyond their creative excellence, they possess world-class technical facilities. Livetone is the only one studio in Korea equipped with a remote sound system. So in fact, after a very, very strict on-site audit by Warner Brothers headquarters, we conducted remote ADR session for Mickey 17. So the actor like Robert Pattinson, they just didn't come to Korea and they just recorded it from the States and Europe. So this proves that our technical environment meets the highest global standards set by Hollywood majors. And yeah, these are the filmography of Livetone. There are plenty of Korean films, including every 8 films by director Bong Joon-ho. Yeah. And finally, I'd like to introduce Dexter Pictures. And our production history began with our first visionary director of Mr. Go, so who dreamed of building a world-class studio powered by Korean's technology. But to be honest, the first movie, Mr. Go, had terrible box office record. Maybe I think at the time they just focused on the technology, not about the story. And we just learned a lot from there. So in 2018, we had a big success about 2 films, Along with the Gods as I mentioned, we have only population of 50 million, and the two films, they got 10 million admissions each. So it is really incredible record. And after that, we just had mid-sized big hits, such as Ashfall and The Escape from the Mogadishu. So last year, we just launched our very first original drama series. Title is Head Over Heels. So it was released globally on Prime Video. So if you are interested in, you can check it out. And that was about the story, high school girl who is a shaman. She wanted to save her first love, who was in danger with the bad, evil spirits. So we have very funny things note from the real shamans, because we just showed our shamanism in a very cute and fun twist. So it was quite interesting record for us as well. So the drama got very good record, and we got the awards from the Singapore last year at the AACA as well. So currently we have about 20 films and dramas in our development pipeline. So we want to have our own original IPs, not only serving as the service models only. So as I wrap up this long presentation, I would like to recap the strategic keywords that define the future of Dexter Studios here. The first one is about the global K VFX branding. So we just want to build our reputation beyond Asia onto the global stage. And the second one is about art and tech harmony. Always we pursuing the perfect balance between creative storytelling and the cutting-edge technology. And the third one is very important one for us this year, B2B to B2C. So diversifying our revenue streaming by expanding from a service provider to an experience creator. And the next one is about the international partnership. So we are actively seeking meaningful collaboration across borders. Because we were very dependent on Netflix so far. It's not only about Dexter Studio, but also just including overall Korean production side, and Korean government also want to have diversified models for our Korean content industry. And the next one is the flexibility and the adaptation. So staying agile in a rapidly changing media environment and mastering every new format. So we want to be very flexible regarding the media format and also about the business model. And the last one is about the empowered by AI. So we have to use our AI tools to boost efficiency so our artists can really focus on what they truly matters, the true creativity. So we are no longer just making movies or dramas. We are building the future of how people experience the stories. And at Dexter, we are proud to be at the forefront of shaping the future of K-Enter tech. So I want to thank you all for your kind attention today. And I sincerely hope this is just the beginning of our collaboration in the future. And beyond the screen, let's shape the future together. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. 감사합니다.